Assalamu alaikum dear students, hope you are fine. We are going to start the main parts or the main sections of a research paper, and this is what I was telling you in my previous lecture is important for the reason that you might be developing your research papers or your research articles during your academic time period with us. So for a BS English student, a research paper typically supports the qualitative research or literary analysis. We may divide our research topic either in literary analysis or might be at the quantitative or qualitative level at linguistic or in linguistics. So it follows a formal structure. It focuses more on interpreting the text or the themes or linguistic patterns rather than scientific results or numeric data. And you all know that I'm dealing over here today only with the literary form of research or literary paper to be written on some topic, like for example, exploring the themes, exploring the characters, or describing any novel or a drama, any genre of your literature with respect to the literary analysis. So how do we do it in a patterned form? I have already discussed that a research paper in my previous lectures, that a research paper has some sections as prefatory and some sections as the main body and some as the supplementary section. So is the case of our today's discussion. Our preliminary section or the prefatory section would contain not only the topic of our research or the topic of our research paper with author's nomination, but it also includes the paper's title, author's name, departmental and supervisor's name as well. It also includes the prefatory section or the initiation or starting section includes the abstract, that is a one paragraph summary of approximate 150 to 200 words of the research question, research objective, your significance of the research, the primary theory you have used to analyze the text, and the main findings you are going to conclude in your research. So this would be a single sentence conclusion, or sorry, a single sentence summary what you have done in your research paper. For the abstract, I have already announced that abstract, although it is pasted in the beginning or in the start of your work, but it is written at the end of your all done work. So avoid personal pronouns as said earlier to be used in this section, and use synonymous titles for the name of the author, for example the researcher, or by using the word the author. These are some of the tips for your advice. Then we have an introductory part, and introductory to on till your conclusion we have this main section of our research paper. It includes the background of the study, it includes the statement of the problem. So let's talk about what is the background of the study up till we are formulating the statement of the questions for our research, and then how we are going to explore the research gap through our literature review. The background of the study is contextualized through the author and the era in which he belongs. He or she, definitely both I do concern, or the linguistic phenomena that we are going to explore through our research. If it is so that you are going to introduce your research with the background of your information, definitely it will give you an authentic information that on which parameters your research lies. The statement of the problem explains the specific gap or the issue you are going to investigate. This statement will define that on which problem you are working, or the purpose of your study will be defined through your statement of the problem or statement of the purpose. The research question and the research objectives are aligned so that the question will be just about the objective to be achieved at the end of your research. The clear goals are embedded, or might be they are the part of the running text. It's up to the writer's or the author's intent or the style that what he wants to choose or she wants to choose, because sometimes the questions are explicitly seen in the introductory part of any research paper, and sometimes it is clearly defined, and sometimes it is embedded within the given text. Objectives are for sure are the aims or the goals which a researcher wants to explore. For example, the statements like to analyze the theme of the alienation in the given text. This will give the purpose, or this will give the objective that what you are going to achieve through your textual analysis. The significance of your study tells why this research matters to the field of English studies, or in what way your study is beneficial for the society. So your beneficial factor is important to get nomination in your significance. And then we have the literature review section, that is your number 2 part of your research main body. Literature review is all about reviewing your previous works in terms of books or in terms of articles, research papers, the any PhD dissertations, or might be any of the document. That could be the article in, or that could be the news in a newspaper. And right now the comments in our social media are also a part of our literature review, because if they are relevant to the work, they can be quoted indirectly or by using indirect form of narration. So theoretical framework is important to be discussed over here through the lens you are using, or by using the theory you are trying to explore your text. For example, you are using, or you are selecting your theory of feminism, post-colonialism, Marxism, or perspective, which is qualitative in its nature. It could be stylistics or critical discourse analysis. So define your area of this could also be explained over here, that who quoted him, or the terms have been discussed by the author himself, who is the main theorist of the theory you have selected. The review of related literature would be the next part of the same literature review section. It is the summary of what other scholars have said about your chosen text or about your chosen topic. So to show you have done your homework quite interestingly and you have related your work with the present information, this is one of the most important topic to identify your research gap, that how work is different from previous works which have already been done. Then we have another section that is known as methodology. Is methodology, that means the theoretical framework or the methodology you have adopted for your research. For the theoretical framework are important. Frameworks are important. The qualitative data analysis. Methodology relates our all information related to the target audience, related to the level of their research, related to their gender, whatever the age and all other factors are nominated. And then what would be the tool of our research? For example, if it is quantitative, definitely the tool would be the questionnaire. The tool could have been used as a testing or the test which could have been constructed. And then for qualitative data, we have interviews, we have the survey studies, and we have interviews for asking about the problem to any interviewee or the target population on which you are working on. As I have nominated, the theoretical framework would be a part of our qualitative literary research. So I would give the example of that, how the theory will be relevant over here and how will it be discussed in a theoretical framework. The data collection, told by the writer over here, that it is the primary source of your data, whether you have used the novel or the poem or a play, any book you have referred, chosen for your study. And the secondary sources are all the criticism or the critiques who have involved developing that one thought. So primary and resources data mentioned to be mentioned over here for the reader's interpretation, that on which basis you have grounded your theory of research. And then we have the procedures for methodology, definitely, that what kind of things you are using in your methodology, where the different sections are over there. Your part would be the data analysis. Now methodology, if your methodology is definitely quantitative, the answers of your all collected responses would be in quantitative or at quantitative level. It means the figures will be there, like 2% said this, 5% said this. And if it is qualitative, definitely analysis depends kind of over here to be nominated again for defining the if it is primary source, you have to quote the lines from your directly from the given text, and you have to discuss again while analyzing the data. You have to discuss that what have you found. The textual analysis is the main crust of your paper or the main crust of your work, whatever you have explored. You provide evidence from the text in the form of quotes and explain how they support your thesis statement or how it supports your argument which you have created in the start. The discussion section connects your findings back to your theoretical framework. As said earlier, that discussion is all about how you interpret your all findings in terms of conclusion. Then conclusion, not something different than that of discussions. You can develop your discussion as a conclusion as well, while providing the summary and recapping the all main points and providing the recommendations and suggestions for your future researchers. For example, the statements like this study focused on gender, future studies could look at class, or likewise for Marxism definitely, and all that. These are all the parts which may conclude in our conclusion. As a conclusion, the whole debate can be summarized as this and this. These all statements would be the reflection that you have summarized your all work into 2 to 3 lines. And summary or the abstract is different from your conclusion in respect to the use of tense form, number 1. And number 2, definitely your abstract would be the collection of all the research work you have done, and conclusion is just concluding or summarizing your remarks about the data collection and data analysis. Then we have at the end the back matter or the supplementary section of our research paper, and that definitely includes 2 things mainly. Number 1, references that are usually formatted in MLA style or APA style depending on your supervisor's choice or the paper's requirement, research paper's requirement. And then the second part is the appendix, that is the optional part, and it includes the glossary of the terms, it includes the transcript of the interview questions, or might be the copies of any of the data you want to provide for textual analysis. So the main principles of writing a paper is to develop a clear, debatable thesis, and definitely the clear-cut form that what you have explored through your work. If you have done it at the end, that you have defined your problem, you have defined the solution to that problem as well, or you have identified some text and you have explored that text from the perspective you have identified, this would definitely be a part of a good researcher, or you would be calculated as a good researcher for the reason that you have actually done the analysis on the basis of textual evidence. These are just rare principles which all follow, and these are all the things which we all need to keep in our mind while following the papers written by some other good authors. Give definitely to us that how to promote and how to organize to better our all writings in terms of our academic writings. About our today's lecture, and that how to develop your personal work or academic research paper for your upcoming all semesters. It's up to you that choose your topic and develop a paper or an article of your own choice depending on your interest. Well, till the time we discuss our next topic, stay blessed. Have a nice day.